Hi, my name is Jessica Williams, and the documentary I chose was Land of Plenty, Land of Want. This was a 57-minute documentary focusing on a common crucial issue the world's farmers face: how to feed our growing population without endangering the environment. This film takes us to 4 different continents: Africa, Asia, Europe, and North America. The first location we visit is a remote corner of Zimbabwe where farms and villages struggle to survive an extended severe drought. The picture you see in the bottom right-hand corner is Great Zimbabwe, southern Africa's largest medieval city in ruins. It was founded in the 13th century and was a royal palace for the city. This monument was deserted in the 15th century because it became unsustainable. Zimbabwe was no stranger to colonialism. 80% of Zimbabwe's arable land is mostly white-owned commercial farms. Their fields flow with water pumped in to irrigate the fertile soil. Meanwhile, small-scale farmers are struggling to feed their villages with what is left. Changes in climate can mean starvation. This is a map of Zimbabwe's cumulative rainfall between February 1st and 19th in 2002. Due to the lack of rainfall, wildlife suffers. Villages are dusty homelands and food supply dwindles. The next location we visit is France, specifically Brittany. The remote mountain villages of central France suffer the loss of farmers fleeing to places like Brittany, where intensive agriculture has polluted the water and affected local fisheries. Brittany is one of the nation's most intensive agricultural areas. Almost every available acre is under cultivation. Unfortunately, however, Bretons use an exceptionally large amount of chemicals in doing so. These chemicals produce agricultural runoff after a rainstorm. This agricultural runoff, combined with toxic waste from animal farming, is partially responsible for the collapse of Brittany's fisheries. France is one of the world's largest producers of pork. Chicken and pig farms in Brittany produce large amounts of toxic waste, which spill into aquifers and streams. The documentary visits China next, the world's most populous country. An agricultural revolution has enabled farmers to feed this nation, but an industrial boom is rapidly displacing agricultural land, forcing farmers to work the soil more intensively, threatening environmental damage. Today, in one of China's largest cities, Shanghai, there is an abundance of food supply. Every day, over 2,000 barges deliver supplies to sustain this growing city. The Yangtze River Delta has some of China's most fertile soil, and almost every surrounding inch is under cultivation. The yield is 2, sometimes even 3 harvests per year. China feeds 22% of the world's population on only 7% of the world's arable land. Due to this agricultural revolution and industrial growth, land and water has begun to suffer. After harvesting season, villagers clean boats and drain ponds which run off into lagoons. Industrial waste also runs off into the waters. Each year, China is losing over 1 million acres of land due to industrial development. Thousands of acres of arable land are being destroyed in the name of progress. Due to this drastic reduction of farmland per year, farmers have to work 10 times harder to feed the country. Lastly, the writers take us back to the United States. In Iowa, farmers use high technology to dramatically increase yields, while in Pennsylvania, no-till farming preserves some of the richest topsoil in the world. 10,000 years ago, nearly a third of Iowa was covered with glaciers. As the climate changed and the ice began to slowly disappear, left behind was some of the most fertile soil in the world. We meet 2 brothers, Bill and Joe Huron, who are corn farmers of the millennium. They rely on advanced technology to drastically increase their harvest. One of the brothers explains how before this technology, 100 bushels harvested a day by hand was a good day. Today, the brothers can routinely harvest about 25,000 bushels in a day. We also meet a father and son in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Steve and Elias Groff. They live and work on a 175-acre vegetable farm. Unlike the Huron brothers, they stick to a more traditional way of life and work ethic. They use mules and horses to pull their plows. Each year, more than 4 million tons of Lancaster soil is washed away. It is not uncommon for more than 1 inch of rain to fall in 30 minutes, causing costly damage. Once their farms averaged 16 inches of the best topsoil in the world. Now it is barely 8 inches. To resolve the issue of soil erosion, the Groff farm has resorted to no-till farming. Instead of plowing the land, the Groffs plant a cover crop that is rolled onto the land to form a protective carpet. Why are these issues important? These issues are important because they are affecting the world we live in today. These issues are also contentious. The whole purpose in the documentary is to exhibit the issue we face today of feeding our Earth's growing population without harming the environment. Some might argue for the protection of our environment, while others could argue the importance of production in today's economy. These dilemmas are not new. With the world's population at 7 billion people and growing, I believe we will continue to face a variety of obstacles. The population will continue to grow, thus our need for food will increase. Technology will continue to advance with no promise that it will not be hazardous, and our climate will continue to change, at which point we can only adapt. These issues are all locally and globally connected. What occurs in our cornfields of Iowa affects Asia when our harvests are exported. The animal farms in France produce toxic waste runoff, which spills into our Earth's waters. Any way you look at it, we are all globally affected by the struggle to feed our people, environmentally and economically. The filmmakers, Marilyn and Hal Weiner, have produced, written, and directed over 225 documentaries and 4 public television series. They also have won Emmy Awards for the Earth Summit Pledge. They have a production company, Screenscope, in Washington, D.C. Their films have been shot in more than 30 countries on 5 continents, translated in numerous languages, and broadcast throughout the world. This documentary is actually one of a series on PBS called Journey to Planet Earth. With that said, I think they're pretty credible. Land of Plenty, Land of Want investigates a fundamental dilemma facing farmers throughout the world: how to feed Earth's growing population without endangering the environment. In today's world, which is more important, protection or production?